I hate Subway hate.
Welcome to Grumble Goat. My name is Matt Labodka, and this is a show about all the small things that drive me insane. Let's grumble.
One of the things about New York that I've noticed is that all New Yorkers hate New York. All New Yorkers love and hate this city. But one of the most common points of contention is the subway. People love to complain about the subway system. Oh, my train's delayed. Oh, it smells funny. Oh, we're rerouted again. The subway is incredible. I have lived in multiple U.S. cities. I have lived in Chicago and I've lived in Los Angeles, both of which have subway systems. The Los Angeles subway system is a joke. It doesn't go anywhere. Not even all the cars connect to each other. The Chicago system is a beautiful, quaint little system, but some of the lines shut down overnight, and overnight service is limited to you might have to wait 25 minutes, maybe 30 minutes for the next blue line. But in New York City, the subway is 24 hours a day. In New York City, you can get on a subway anywhere in 5 boroughs. This is a massive city, and you can get on a subway almost every 2 blocks in any borough. It's insane how many subway stations there are. It's insane how many lines there are. There are lines designated by color, by shape, by letter. There's so many lines on the subway map. You can get anywhere in this city faster than you can in a car. The subway is the most efficient system. Yeah, there's delays, but we stopped investing in any sort of infrastructure in this country 50 years ago. It's miraculous that this thing is still up and running, and yet people complain about a delay. Do you know what the traffic on the streets is like? It's insane. Imagine if there wasn't a subway system. Imagine if everybody hated it so much that we dismantled it and every single person had to get in a car. Nobody could get anywhere in this city, and people hate it for no good reason. Not to mention during the pandemic, we all celebrated the first responders of the doctors and the nurses and the EMTs, but the subway kept running. The heartbeat of this city is the subway. When one line goes down because of a fire or train malfunction, everybody's talking about it. That's how vital this subway is to this city. But every single New Yorker is guilty of saying, should we Uber or, let's take the subway. Well, there is an unlimited Metro card in your pocket because you use it every single day. We got beautiful bike paths, too. I encourage everybody that doesn't want to take the subway to get on the bike paths. But you know what? You're not going to. I know it. You're going to take the subway. I hate that New Yorkers ridicule the one thing we all have in common, and that's the grumble.
Grumble, 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 grumble.
What?
Grumble, 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 grumble. What's got your goat?
For the latter half of the show, we'll bring in my better half, Veronique, for an unpretentious look and a segment we call
What's Got Your Goat? How are you doing today, Matthew?
Thank you for asking. I've been busy. I've been overworked. I've been busy. I had to go to work today.
Woof.
It's a rough life.
I know, but those khakis look so nice on you.
You did. You noticed my khakis.
I noticed that uniform.
Thank you. Hager H2G 4-way stretch, I think is what they're called.
Excellent.
And
very easy to
they're super light. They stretch 4 ways. You have full mobility.
Full mobility.
And they breathe like Egyptian cotton. The breeze just blows right through them. Oh, they're just
very
the best.
Nice. Very nice.
How was your day?
Oh, my day was great.
Yeah.
I didn't have to go to work today.
No, you didn't go to work today.
Yeah, that was lovely.
What did you get done today?
I went to the pet store. I went to the gym.
Oh, the gym.
Yes.
Oh, it's nice at the gym now that we don't have to wear masks.
Oh, I know, but I'm still wearing mine because I breathe very heavy when I'm
exactly.
there.
You just feel bad for people in terms of the stench of your breath.
Well, no, it's not about my breath. It's more about the smell of them.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a perspiration sweatiness smell.
Oh, so for you now the mask is just to mask the scent of other people.
Yes, I've done that for a while. Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, but now that we're opening up and people have the vaccination.
Yes.
We're wearing less and less masks.
We're wearing less and less masks. I mean, I'm worried about cold and flu season and just the amplification of the flu and the spread of disease.
Right.
So I'm planning on putting my mask on.
Let's keep those masks on just so we don't get the flu. I love that.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't get the flu. And
so where do we wear our masks now?
We wear them on the subway.
On the subway?
Yeah.
Oh, why? What's wrong with the subway?
Well, it's a crowded space.
Oh, it's a crowded space.
Yeah. So they're still required on the subway. So I respect that and I wear it on the subway.
Yeah. Well, if you don't want to wear a mask on the subway, why don't you just walk? Why do you need the subway?
Well, I can't walk. I mean, I walked 30 blocks on Sunday and that was lovely because I had the time.
How many blocks is it to work?
From our apartment It's a long way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If I were to bicycle, it would take me 45 minutes to an hour.
Right.
Yeah.
And how fast does the subway get you there?
35 to 45 minutes to an hour.
Right. There's some variation there, right?
Yeah.
That can be frustrating sometimes.
Right. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm used to getting on the subway at a certain time. And so if I miss that window, I'm totally screwed.
You know what's funny is there is a timetable for the subway.
I know it's an app. It's very wonderful.
Like they have scheduled times. Like I think of the subway as like you just show up and within 8 minutes the subway's going to be there. But
Right.
there's actually a timetable.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, I know that if I get there 20 minutes after and I'm still going to get to work just on time.
Right.
Like I'm walking in at the time I'm supposed to be on the floor and change.
On the subway, you're ordering sushi and then you're going to go pick up the sushi.
No sushi. No sushi. Thai food.
Oh, right. It's the Thai food.
Ayada Thai is the best Thai I have ever had in my entire life. Chelsea Market, you have to check it out.
Yeah.
And tell them I sent you because they know me.
So you take the subway like, what, 1 out of 5 days you go to work?
No, I take it all the time.
Oh, every day you go to
Yeah,
work.
unless I'm really, really late and then I have to take a car. But then I don't end up taking a car. I end up taking the subway because it's too expensive and the traffic at that time is
it's probably
really
faster
bad.
on the subway, right?
Faster on the subway,
Yeah.
even if it's having delays. Yeah.
Right.
They are doing some repairs on our subway station stop. It smells like sewage on
Yeah.
one
Oh,
of
yeah,
the
it sure
sides.
does. They
So-
opened up some door in the wall to like get into some, and I was like, whoa, wow.
So that's disgusting. And I put my mask on passing that area. But yeah, I mean, the subway is great. You know, I know people like to complain about it, but
What do they complain about?
you know, it doesn't run on time or breaks down. And the reason why the New York City subway was having so many problems is because it's 24 hours.
It is. It's always
You know,
running.
It's always
And-
running. So you can't really take the time that it would take to actually like fix it.
Even during the pandemic, they didn't shut it down to like overhaul it.
No.
They kept it running.
Yeah.
In those early days, there wasn't much running. The city was shut down.
Yeah.
Restaurants were shut down.
Yeah.
Gyms were shut down.
Yeah.
But the hospitals were still open.
Yeah.
You know what else was still open?
The subway.
That's right.
We didn't bang pots and pans for the subway workers. did we?
No, but the lifeblood of the city is really those underground tunnels. Those are the veins and arteries.
It really is. It's a beautiful metaphor. Honestly, if we had bikes, the subway, and just taxi cabs, I think we would have a really awesome city.
Yeah.
No extra stuff, you know?
Yeah. It's almost like we're super crowded in this city and there's not enough room for everybody. But somehow,
You know, we've been very considerate of each other. We try to do every other seat.
Right.
You can kind of almost bet that no one will sit next to you.
New York has been very good about keeping your masks on, keeping spaced out, and then the city's very big.
Yeah.
And it requires these
Yeah.
giant underground worms to get us where we're going.
Absolutely. Now, it used to be a tradition that I would put my makeup on my subway ride. Put makeup on, get ready for work, almost as if it was my half hour.
Yeah, half hour to curtain.
Yeah, half hour to curtain, getting ready for my shift till I have to present myself. Also, people eat on the subway.
Isn't it wild how even though the subway is crowded and smelly and there's probably a homeless person and there's probably a beggar on it, you feel comfortable enough to sit there and put on your makeup?
Yeah.
Isn't it wild how we have this sense of individual privacy?
Yes.
That, like, even though we're crammed together,
Yes.
you feel isolated and comfortable enough to sit there and put on your makeup
Yep.
to later present yourself to the city.
Yes.
Like, we all know down in the tunnels, we're not presenting ourselves
We
to the
are
city.
not presenting ourselves.
Once
The
you get up to
lighting
the street,
is terrible.
Right.
Yes.
Once we get up to street level, that's when we're like, hello, world.
Yes, here I am.
In the subway, we can be ourselves. It's almost like all of us treat the subway as if it's a slight extension of our apartment.
Or it's our like staff room.
Yes, it's our staff room.
It's our staff room. Some
It's our
people play
break room.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Some people are reading a book. Some people are changing clothes. Some people are putting on their tie. Some people are putting on makeup. Yeah, it's
Some
our
people are
break room.
clipping their nails randomly.
Yeah, clipping your nails, sure.
Exactly, except they don't have to clean it up.
And then every once in a while, we get a showtime.
Showtime. Yeah, we get a show.
The subway's an exciting place.
It is an exciting place.
Also, even if there's not a showtime going on, there's a show happening on the subway.
Always.
What would the city be like without the subway? Would it be the same city?
It would be very congested. above.
Right, there'd be too many cars. I like that you said above. We are 5 stories above New York City right now.
Yes.
But in your mind, most of New York City takes place underground.
Absolutely. I'm trying to think of what was the equivalent. I mean, you and I didn't grow up in New York. You grew up close to Chicago, so you had the L there.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's called the L.
Now, is that something that you thought about when you were like looking for apartments, or do you have a car?
If you're an L person in Chicago, you have to think about how close you are to the L because it doesn't go everywhere. So you want to live within 8 blocks of it.
Oh.
But in New York City, there's no place that's 8 blocks away from a subway.
It's pretty incredible.
Yeah. What's wild is like just yesterday, we used the subway to go all the way to the beach.
We did. What I didn't like about our train experience is that they lied to us. They said that we were going to be rerouted.
We're rerouting the A. It's now going to Rockaway Park. And we were like, perfect. That's where we want to go.
We're going.
But then we got halfway to Rockaway Park and they were like, oh, we're turning around and going back.
Right.
You have to exit the train now. But not 2 minutes later, the shuttle, the S line, showed up to take us the rest of the way.
Yes, that's very true. I did feel like we had to wait longer than 2 minutes, though.
Well, you felt that way because
I was in an emergency situation. I had to go to the ladies' room.
You had to pee.
I absolutely had to.
You had to pee because you got a venti cold brew.
So it may or may not have been my fault. Gosh.
You grumbled about the subway.
Well, I was also a little hungry. So once I'm hungry, I turn into a monster. But like,
you yelled at all of our friends because they weren't sitting on your blanket.
Well, it's a big blanket. This is what I'm saying is that everyone takes their little tiny towels that they bring and then they line it up, which makes sense. I understand that. But then they sit on their blankets. And I don't understand that because Jonathan was like sitting on the sand and I was like, please sit on my blanket. Why do you not want to sit on my blanket?
You're phrasing it much more politely than you did yesterday.
Whoops.
But weren't they just giving you the same autonomy that New Yorkers are used to in the subway? I have my blanket. This is my spot. And they're sitting there.
That's
and
they
weren't.
Maybe they were respecting my blanket.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, no, I want people to sit on my blanket.
They didn't respect the autonomy of my White Claws.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I did too. Anyway, the subway is amazing. Trains are awesome.
What's crazy is that this city, it's just a bunch of islands.
We love islands.
The fact that you can just pop in the subway and end up on any of the islands you want in less time than it takes in a car, less time than it takes in a bridge, it's insane.
It's insane. And there are always cars backed up going over the GW bridge.
Yeah.
Always.
And you would think if everybody was leaving New York, eventually it would clear up a little bit.
It would be clear up, yeah. No, but people are always leaving. They're always coming and going and going and coming. And always too soon. Were you fascinated by trains when you were a child?
Of course I was fascinated by trains.
What was your favorite train? Did you like the choo-choo train or did you like the metro train?
What the heck is a choo-choo train?
A choo-choo train is an old-fashioned train. You know, with like the iron hammer.
Oh, you're talking about the cow prod.
The cow prod.
The cattle prod.
Cattle prod.
The big triangle in the front of the train.
Why is that called?
You're talking about the Doc Brown Back to the Future 3 train.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, to the choo-choo train.
Okay. Oh, that's what choo-choo means.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a choo-choo-choo. Choo-choo. Did you watch Tommy the Train? Is it Tommy the Train?
Thomas the Tank Engine?
Thomas the Tank Engine.
No, but you know what?
I did watch that.
You did?
I was a little bored, though. It's fine.
New Yorker through and through. I got some complaints about the train.
They take a lot of breaks.
Toot, toot.
Toot, toot.
What do you think the first subway was?
I think the first subway was a carriage ride.
Okay. Safe bet.
And where the carriage stopped, they said, we need to build something under the ground. Where do you think they got the idea for underground subways? Do you think it was Paris? The catacombs. They had all those tunnels.
Oh, they saw a bunch of dead people under the ground in Paris, and they were like, that's where the train goes.
Well, the tunnels were already built. So
you think anybody went body surfing on those piles of bones?
No.
And then they were like, you can move pretty fast down in these catacombs.
Right. Get all the skulls that keep moving because they're circles. Now, there was a restaurant I used to go to with my grandmother, Duffers, and they always had like a trolley train.
Like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was a brand.
I was obsessed with Mr. Rogers.
Oh, do tell.
Oh my goodness. I loved Mr. Rogers so much because he spoke to me as if I was a person and was teaching me things, and he changed his sweaters and his shoes.
Yeah.
I only got bored when we went to Puppet Land. Like when we followed the trolley to Puppet Land, I got a little bored.
Changing sweaters made him feel like he was opening up his personal space to you, right?
Yes. Like we were like going to his house, and I would take my shoes off and I'd take my sweater off and change into a different sweater.
And sometimes people change their clothes on the subway.
They do.
They're sharing their space with you.
They are sharing space.
Won't you be my neighbor?
This has been an episode of Grumble Goat.
Thanks for listening.
I'm Mat Labatka.
I'm Veronique Hurley. Please subscribe.
I hate when people say please subscribe.
Grumble, grumble, grumble. Well, no, it's not about my breath. It's more about the smell of them.